My lawn was too wild for the HOA. So they nailed me with a $100 fine. Ever get a piece of mail that just ruins your whole dang day? One minute you're chugging coffee, mapping out your week. And the next, you're staring at a letter that hits like a punch to the gut. That was me, standing by my mailbox in ratty sweatpants and flip-flops, holding a crisp white envelope with the HOA logo slapped on it. If you don't know, HOA stands for Homeowners Association, basically. The neighborhood's wannabe cops who've got way too much time on their hands. Inside, a $100 fine. Why? My lawn was too wild. Not messy, not overgrown, wild. Like I'm running a freaking jungle out here. Want to hear how this suburban soap opera went down? Grab a beer, pull up a chair, and let's dive in. It all kicked off with bees. Of all things, it started with my wife, Emily. She's a middle school science teacher, the kind who gets kids hyped about dissecting owl pellets or making baking soda volcanoes. One night, she comes home all fired up about some article saying the bee population's tanking down 30% in some places, and how we gotta save the pollinators. I'm half listening, thinking she's just blowing off steam. But then she whips out her laptop, showing me charts and graphs. Freaking graphs, y'all. Stuff about colony collapse, pesticides, the whole 9 yards. Next thing I know, we're on some hippie website, ordering wildflower seeds like we're prepping for the end of the world. Native, bee-friendly stuff. Purple coneflowers, black-eyed Susans, milkweed, clover, the full save the planet deal. And honestly, I was kinda into it. Growing up in a small town, my grandpa had a garden that was always buzzing with life. He'd point at every butterfly and bee, saying, "This is what keeps the world spinning, kid." So yeah, this felt like a shout out to him. We got to work, ripped up the front yard, made tidy little borders. And Emily even painted a cute sign. Pollinator garden, be happy. It was straight out of Pinterest, minus the Instagram filter. In a few weeks, the seeds sprouted. By summer, our yard was a riot of color: purple, yellow, white, with butterflies fluttering and bees buzzing like they owned the place. Our 6-year-old, Mia, was obsessed. She'd bolt outside every morning, yelling, "The bees are back," like they were her best buddies. We were stoked. This wasn't just a lawn, it was a little slice of awesome. The HOA decided to crash the party. Picture this. Monday morning, I'm bleary-eyed, coffee in one hand, mail in the other. I open the HOA letter, expecting some BS about trash cans. Nope, $100 fine, out of nowhere. No warning, just a cold line. Your front lawn violates community landscaping standards. Fix it now or pay more. I'm standing there, jaw on the ground, rereading it like it's gonna say, psych. But nope, they meant business. I thought it was a mistake, so I called the HOA office, still in my flip-flops, trying not to lose it. The lady on the phone, let's call her Janet, sounded like she'd been dealing with pissed-off neighbors since breakfast. "Sir, your lawn's too tall. It's unkempt," she says, flat as a pancake. Unkempt. I'm practically yelling. It's a garden. We planted native wildflowers for bees. It's not a mess. It's on purpose. "Sir," she cuts me off. "Our rules say front lawns gotta be regular grass. Mowed under 4 inches. For inches. Apparently, that's the holy grail of suburban lawns." I tried explaining studies, water savings, bees, but Janet wasn't having it. She sighed like I was ruining her day and said, "We got complaints. Fix it or get more fines." Then she hung up. This wasn't about grass. It felt like someone saw our happy little patch and decided it was a personal insult to their perfect suburban bubble. Enter Karen. Who else? Every neighborhood's got a Karen. Ours lives 3 doors down, and she's the real deal. Binoculars, clipboard, and a yappy dog named Muffin. She walks just slow enough to snoop on everyone's porch. This is the lady who once ratted out our neighbor for unapproved wind chimes because they were, get this, too shiny. Guess who's on the HOA board? Yup, Karen. The same Karen who stopped waving at us the second our garden started blooming. The same Karen who cornered Emily at a block party and said, with this fake sweet smile, "Your yard's a bit much." A bit much compared to what, Karen? Your boring mulch and tacky plastic flamingos? The signs were piling up. A week before the letter, I caught Karen on the sidewalk, pointing at our yard while whispering to Mrs. Henderson, the neighborhood gossip champ. Her dog was sniffing our mailbox like it was collecting DNA. Even Karen's husband, Larry, stopped his usual, "Hey, what's good?" Not. Hell, Muffin started growling at me. I ain't no detective, But it didn't take a genius to figure out who snitched. To Karen. Our wildflowers weren't eco-friendly. They were a middle finger to her dream of a golf course neighborhood. The last straw. Time for a showdown. I was pissed. Like, pissed. I spent weeks researching plants, hauling dirt, watching Mia giggle as she chased butterflies. And now some clipboard tyrant wanted me to rip it all out? Hell no. That night, Emily and I sat down. And she said, "We're not mowing this down. This is for Mia, for the bees, for us." That was it. Game on. But before I went all out, I needed a plan. I'm a graphic designer, not some hotshot lawyer. So I hit the internet and found Greg, an environmental lawyer who's all about saving pollinator gardens. He slid into my DMs. "Your state's got laws protecting eco-friendly yards. You're in the clear." A lawyer? For free? In this economy? I was pumped. The comeback, polite, legal, and kinda savage Greg was a lifesaver. He sent me a stack of state laws backing up eco-friendly landscaping, plus a city rule encouraging biodiversity. Emily and I wrote a killer letter to the HOA, citing every law, attaching pics of our yard with labels for every plant, milkweed, coneflowers, you name it, and tossing in some neighbor compliments. Okay, real talk. I might have bribed our buddy Dave with a six-pack to say, "Looks nice." But it counts, right? Greg told us to request a hearing at the next HOA meeting. I wasn't thrilled about facing Karen and her clipboard in person, but Emily was all in. "Let's show him we ain't backing down," she said, eyes blazing. So we RSVP'd, polished our letter, and geared up for battle. The HOA throwdown. The HOA meeting was like a bad courtroom drama. Think folding chairs, shitty coffee, and a board that looked like they'd rather be napping. Karen was front and center, clutching her clipboard, rocking a blazer that screamed, "I'm the boss." Larry was slouched in the back, looking like he got dragged there. When her turn came, I stood up, heart pounding, and laid it all out. The bees, the drought-friendly plants, the laws protecting our garden. Emily held up pics of Mia playing in the yard, butterflies everywhere. I dropped Greg's legal bombs. The room went quiet, except for Karen, scribbling like her life depended on it. Then she piped up, voice dripping with attitude. "This isn't about bees. It's about standards. If we let one yard look like a meadow, what's next? Junk cars? Pink flamingos?" A few neighbors nodded, which stung. But then, out of nowhere, Mrs. Henderson, the gossip queen, raised her hand. "I like their yard," she said. "My grandkids love the butterflies." Another neighbor chimed in. "It ain't hurting nobody." Karen's face turned redder than her flamingos. The board huddled up, and the chair, some tired dude named Bob, said, "We'll look it over and get back to you." I wasn't holding my breath, but we'd made our case. We won, and got a surprise buddy. 3 days later, we got an email. "After review, the violation's been dropped. Thanks for adding to the community's natural beauty." Translation: "We didn't think you'd fight back." I hollered so loud Mia thought I hit the jackpot. Emily and I high-fived, and Mia drew a bee picture to celebrate. We freaking won. But the best part? A week later, I'm out trimming milkweed, and who strolls over? Larry, Karen's husband. Dude's always got that just mowed the lawn vibe, never smiles. But this time, he's eyeing the flowers, hands in his pockets, glancing around like Karen's hiding in the bushes. "My granddaughter loves butterflies," he says. "Keeps asking why we don't have any at our place." I grin. "They love milkweed. Want some seeds?" He pauses, then flashes a real deal smile. "Don't tell Karen I said this, but your yard looks pretty damn good." And just like that, Larry's the coolest guy on the block. I slipped him some seeds, and he tucked M in his pocket like he was smuggling contraband. But he planted M on the sly. It ain't about the lawn. It's about control. Let's be real. This wasn't about grass. It's about folks who think they can boss you around just cause they've got a title and a clipboard. It's about rules for the sake of rules. Power trips over paint colors, lawn heights, and wind chimes. And man, that's exhausting. I pay my mortgage, my taxes. If I want bees in my yard, I should damn well have bees without feeling like I'm breaking the law. But it's bigger than that. This garden's for Mia, who's learning to love nature. For neighbors who stop by and say, "Didn't know butterflies could live here." For the bees, fighting to hang on. It's a tiny middle finger to a world that's sometimes too cookie-cutter, too controlled. What I learned: if you're stuck in a lawn war, here's the deal. Read your HOA rules. It's boring as hell, but do it. Check local environmental laws. Might be some in your corner. Document everything. Snap pics. Get neighbors to back you up. Don't sleep on the internet. It's your best wingman. Maybe bring cookies to the next HOA meeting. Even Karen can't hate on cookies. Your turn, so what's your take? Am I the bad guy for not mowing my lawn? Is Karen just doing her job? Is the HOA out of control? Got a story about fighting a petty rule or dealing with a Karen in your neighborhood? Drop it in the comments. I'm all ears, probably planting more milkweed. If you dug this suburban saga, smash that like button and hit follow for more neighbor drama. Trust me, I've got plenty more where this came from.